Hello, it's Helen Reed here. So I'm actually not out and about and on the move like I had kind of said I would be for all of these podcasts. But I've just been really called to record this. And I'm in my bedroom and I've just set up the space, prepared the space to record a really beautiful woman's human design reading. And then just as I was lying on my bed, preparing my self, like grounding into the space, grounding into the energy, I was suddenly inspired to come and share a little bit about empaths and emotional processing. I might start walking around my room in a minute, so we might still get some movement going on, but for now I am fairly still. Nope, gonna stand up. So okay, now I just nearly fell off a chair because I didn't want to move the chair out of the way because that would make too much noise. Okay, I'm going to carry on and compose myself. So I'm using the word empaths because this is a widely used term which lots of people relate to and resonate with, and I have certainly resonated with on some level at different points in my journey, and still do to a certain extent. But I guess we all have different interpretations of what it means to be an empath. And I feel like many people, if not all people, have, an empathetic aspect to them in one way or another. And it might be more obvious in some people than in others, because for me, it's really this idea about to what extent I can feel and almost experience the energy of my surroundings, and it might be in relation to other humans, but it might also be in relation to animals or plants or particular spaces, or it's all about energy, and obviously that's everywhere. And I think we talk a lot about, or I hear a lot of talk around empaths feeling really drained and needing to protect their energy, and needing there to be a distinction between what's mine and what's yours, and having that distinction in order to really remain centered in what is yours, and allowing you to stay grounded in that. And I guess I wanted to share a little bit about my perspective on all of that, because as with many things, it's fairly different to what I see other people talking about, and it could be triggering for some people, but that's okay. So for me, the whole, and I am going to start walking around, so I'm just going to walk over my bed now, and that then I won't fall off. For me, the essence here is all around like how I relate to energy. So it doesn't really matter whether I'm calling myself an empath or calling myself not an empath, or identifying with that term or not. The issue at the base of it all, from where I stand, is this is about how I relate to energy, and in particular, emotional energy. How do I relate to emotional energy? How do I relate to emotional intensity? How do I relate to the sensation of the energy that's like making up my being, essentially? And I think it's really easy to and it's not wrong, but I think it's easy to say, oh, I've been out with this group of people today, I've been with this person, and it's really drained me, and I've come back and it's draining, and it's because of that, or it's because of those interactions, or those people, that space. And while I feel like there is so much nuance and so many layers going on in the makeup of our energy and the way that we feel and the way that we experience situations and life and relationships in any given moment, there's something deeper there for me. And that is that I get to decide how I relate to the emotions that are there for me to experience and feel in any given moment. So, and it doesn't really matter where they've come from, where they could have come from, what reason there is for them, what the cause is of them. They just are. And I'm not saying that there isn't a place for the reasoning and all of that stuff, but for me right now, this is where I am, and this is what feels and continues to feel super nourishing for me. It's this idea that everything that comes into my energetic field, everything that rises up from within me, wherever it comes from, wherever it's perceived to come from, it's for me. It's mine to experience. And this is where I also create a huge amount of stability and safety in my body and in my nervous system every morning, and sometimes throughout the day, with the Open Me prayer that I use, which is really asking God to open me to the feelings, to the emotions, to the sensations, to the intensity that is mine to experience today or right now. Asking God to open me, open my cells, open my being to all that is mine to feel, all that is mine to experience, all that is mine to process, to be aware with, to witness, to accompany myself through, to allow God to accompany me through. Whatever it is that is mine to move through, to move with, I'm here for it. And from that place, it doesn't really matter whether it's come from a particular interaction or not. Starting from that place of sensation in my body, that real like visceral state, allows me to process at that visceral, really present being level. And what I've noticed is that from that place, so really what I'm saying is that there is some kind of linearity to this that I'm noticing, and it really seems to derive from the idea that the energy is moving, at least in some way, shape or form, whether it's alongside another direction or simultaneously, moving in lots of directions, which is probably more likely to be the case in this nuanced, crazy, amazing, beautiful world. What I see is that the root, at my root center, I'm creating this stability. I'm creating this like deep, nourishing connection with God. And I'm allowing God to open me to that security, to the level of attachment that is mine to experience. And that gives me, it cultivates this foundation which grows and deepens every single day. And then from that place, it feels safe to open to the feelings, the emotions, the intensity of sensation in my cells, in my being, in my body, that are mine to experience. remembering that without having that foundation in place, it probably wouldn't feel safe. And having that foundation in place and not skipping that step means that I can probably be opened to a deeper level of sensation and still feel safe in my body and still allow my nervous system to feel safe and stable. And then from there, of course, the energy, I see the energy as moving up. So it's moving up through the heart and really allowing the heart to open as a result of the stability that's been created, the emotions that have been felt, the desires that have been activated, the action that's been taken. The heart is opening more and more and more. Then the energy is moving and up, and whatever is mine to express is being expressed. The silence that is mine to sit in is being sat in, and then up to the ajna and the crown, and really allowing the awareness to rise up in me. And I really believe that comes from that real deep security, and then the openness to the sensation, to the emotional experience that being human is. There is a huge part of being human which is an emotional experience, but allowing that allows a level of awareness to come which is super, super powerful. And without those steps, I think that the energy can, and it definitely has in the past, it gets stuck. It's not able to move, it's not able to flow, because the foundations are not there. The spiritual foundations of security, and then that then translate obviously into physical foundations, and the emotional foundations, the emotional part of the journey, which then facilitates that movement of energy all the way through my whole being, and brings awareness that is so powerful. So I just felt really called to share that. If we are focusing on what is ours, if we are dedicating our time and our energy to allowing ourselves to be opened to experiencing all that is ours in any given moment, in any given day, then we can't really go wrong. Because and we don't really need to know whose energy is here or there or anywhere else, or whether we're being drained. If we're feeling drained, if we're feeling burnt out, there's another podcast episode on burnout which I would really recommend you giving a listen to if that is something that is relevant for you, because meeting your body where it is in relation to feeling drained and exhausted is where I would start, rather than looking externally and thinking about what conditions you need to change or what people you need to spend less time with. Going within and really allowing God to meet you where you are, and allowing yourself that presence with exactly where you are and where your body is, will allow the awareness to come, the actions to come, that will facilitate so much more space in your being. But for me, taking it internally first is it's a complete game changer. Okay, so that is all I wanted to share. I am sending love, and I will connect with you soon.